do see down in there what looks to me like they're putting stuff inside this.
Okay.
The wear is, I'm gonna have to put a higher magnification on it, but the wear is in there. The wear is slight. So I think they were putting a needle in this. And then when they would take the sinew, they would wrap. First of all, they put a little pitch on the end of the needle to stick it in there. So it could be a cactus thorn, it could be a bone needle, it could be anything. I know they've even used wood for certain things to make needles out of, but that wood's hard to come by and it's not as durable. But there's a lot of different things, but like around here we have all those thorns. Man, them thorns are tough.
Yeah.
And I know that I could imagine putting pitch on this and just shove it in between the gap in there, and then they tie it around one side and then tie around the other side and come out around the needle.
Give it some stability.
Yeah, that'll keep it. So you'd need that much pressure to push through leather. So if they're using this stuff. And like I said, the other end, when we looked at it, you can see little spots where it had been pressure flexed a little bit. So this is probably a dual purpose tool. By carrying it in their kit, they can fix their clothes if they get a hole in it, or they can work on the arrowhead, and this is probably woodland period, most likely. It does look like deer antlers, not elk, so I would imagine this is less than 1,500 years old or so. I'm guessing, but I mean, I'm just guessing by color and condition. But and it could be way off. It could be 3,000 years old, but still, this is a multi-purpose tool. When I first looked at it, I thought it had a hole drilled through there and something broke out, but that's not.
Oh yeah.
That's the holes. That's not consistent with drill marks, because when you look at it, it's got flat spots. So if they were drilling it, they would have had to use flint or something, and it would have made an even if the hole's not perfectly round, it would have made, a circular hole through it, and it didn't do that. So that's from where, I don't know. Like I said, if it had a needle in it, you'd be pushing on it, it would break funny and it wouldn't stay round. But I don't think that was drilled. I think that's from where that may have been drilled. But that's into the marrow and it's caved out. We can't really tell for a fact.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure this has definitely been worked, this has definitely worked, this has worked, and this has worked. So they worked that V in there for some reason. This is a break, but I think they cut this a little ways and that broke off. I think they wanted to get this lower, but I think that broke off. And it may have broke off from them pushing with it too.
Yeah,
through the pressure, it popped out. They may not have wanted that. That may have popped out later, but this is all worn real heavy right in here. So that's a tool. Both ends of that's a tool. It would darn sure pull a nail, I guarantee.
Yeah.
Probably not.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
It's a whole tool. There's nothing missing here.
I like that.
In your bag, it's a multi-purpose. You got 2 or 3 things you can use it for.
It's a good little discussion piece too.
Yeah, it's a cool find.
Well, as you can see, folks, I'm over here with Mr. Replogle again. We're going to go to the Rock and Mineral show here later on this morning, but we're just reviewing some recent finds that I picked up and just kind of talking about stuff, looking at books, that sort of thing. This is another thing that I found that I'm not sure of.
It's a mammoth femur leg.
Oh,
yeah.
See, that's what I was hoping to hear.
That is mammoth bone. That's the cortex. And this is your marrow. You can see the marrow in here.
That's what turned me. When I first saw it standing up, I thought it was a piece of sandstone, but it looked odd, so I picked it up, and that's when I saw the porous.
Yeah, this is just one side of the bone. So this has got to be a femur, because that's over 1.25 inches thick. That's elephant bone. Being that thick would be a leg bone. But it's so long and narrow, and the grain is so straight, I'm assuming that this was probably out of about a 5-foot bone. So
okay.
That'd tell me that's in the femur range.
Wow.
Now, I could be wrong. It could be one of the shorter bones. It could have come directly out of the center, you know what I'm saying?
That was another one of those that was just kind of a gimme, and I think it was, I almost didn't take it, because I thought it was, I almost didn't even pick it up.
But in doubt, pack it out. You can always throw it away. That's something I've discovered over the years, but yeah, that's a really cool piece. A lot of times I give these to kids at the schools demonstrations and stuff, you get that one kid that's really into it, you know, and then after class, I'll pull his teacher aside and say, here, I want to, and I can tell by the way they look at stuff, what they like, you know, like you can just tell when someone's drawn to a certain artifact or a certain thing.
Just like that thing that you just gave me.
And so it's like, give it to his teacher and say, not in front of the other kids, but you can give that to him, because he was, I've had kids call me years later, and, you know, get my phone number and all that, call me back later, and end up being different things, going into different archaeology or paleontology or whatever, and hey, that's keeps them off the drugs and out of the bars, and so.
That's good.
Yeah. That's good.
I don't know if this is modern, like just a rib bone from somebody's barbecue, but it looked like it was burnt to me. And I was wondering if it was burnt bone, and it's got really obvious tool marks on either side where it's been cut.
Let me get I need a bigger loop. I got the bigger loop around here somewhere. This one works. Okay, here we go.
A few moments later.
It would be straight across, but the plane of it, even though there's lines going this way, the plane of it goes up and down gradually, and there's actually like it's actually like that under the loop.
Okay.
So there's no way it was cut with a bandsaw. So it's not a rib.
Bandsaw, you say, would be straight across, basically.
So they didn't buy this erasers in a package of ribs.
Okay, that's what I was wondering.
So, no way, but not saying it wasn't a rib meat at some point, but it's not cut with a bandsaw. So
I think also the cut is in a different direction on each side. One goes this way and one goes perpendicular.
It does not look like a flint flake cut.
Okay.
It's a flint flake kind of do this going this way and this way. I'm not seeing that.
Okay.
It's staying flat. It was not ground afterwards, so they didn't take a sandstone and grind it like a handle. So what I'm thinking is this is the Pioneer type. It's probably cut with a handheld saw, so it would allow it to turn. So this is probably around the time they were moving cattle
Okay.
around. So it's some of the cattle drives or something like that. One or cows probably died.
Cowboy barbecue, maybe?
Cowboy barbecue on the side of the trail. Where, they probably had a calf die or something on the drive, and this is
I can live with that.
kind of thing.
Do you think has it been burnt here? It seems.
That is just, it probably leached that color out of the surrounding, like, leaves or whatever.
Okay.
So,
all right, well, that's what I wanted was answers. And
I don't even think it's buffalo. That's the weird part. I could be dead wrong on it being buffalo, but I think it's cattle. I think it's beef.
Interesting.
I mean, I'd have to get a test done.
Yeah.
To prove that it is.
I don't think these are too spectacular, but
It's a cool tooth.
Douglas said he thought maybe a peccary tooth or
definitely
pig.
a peccary
Okay.
tooth. If you need to see one, I'll show you
When
one.
I first found it, I thought it was a bear tooth, and I was so excited. And he's like,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
And then this is just some kind of canine, I'm assuming, but I don't know.
This is
Coyote or something, or just a dog, or
It's a coyote.
I like that a lot. I thought that was pretty cool.
It's pretty neat. You drill you a little hole, make you a necklace.
Yeah, looks good in a display case too. Something.
I keep a lot of these around because sometimes I find skulls that don't have teeth that are missing, and every once in a while, one of them will fit
Nice.
in
Nice.
there,
Okay,
and you can
yeah.
put a tooth back into a skull that's only missing one or two
Yeah.
teeth, and it makes a difference. And just a little super glue holds it
That's a
in.
great idea. Yeah.
And I do that a lot with my canine teeth on the wolves, coyotes, and even the bear skulls. I find a lot of bear teeth occasionally.
This is the one that I was most excited to show you about.
All right.
I think it's shark tooth. That's just what I think.
Shark tooth?
Yeah.
So
And
let me look at it with my glasses.
some people said that they thought it was an Adestus shark, like the very tip of their jaw.
Have you put this under the microscope?
I just looked at it with a loupe. It's awfully big.
This is weird.
Yeah.
This is weird for Oklahoma.
That's what I'm.
Especially.
That's what has me a little worried about it.
But we know that it used to be ocean here at one time. I'm 99% sure this is shark.
And it's a big piece.
There's just not enough to compare on what tooth it is this fall.
I think you had showed me a. Okay, you got a.
I always have reference material around.
It's a cool little basket. Yeah.
It's just a neat little basket. I paid $1 for that at a garage sale. Guy told me it was his grandma's. Told me it was her life story and wanted $1 for that. And I thought, I would not sell you my grandma's basket
For $1.
but I bought one. I gave him a $20 bill and walked off. Okay, this is well, you just don't have a lot of it, but I can see the pitch here, and I can see it has a lot of surface pitting, but like so. Let's find one that has a really good. I think you're looking at this side. I have that the wrong direction.
See, that's what.
Yeah.
If you turn it upside down like that,
Yeah,
it makes
it
sense
is.
for the shape, but not for where the tooth.
Well, here's what's getting me.
enamel's
Okay,
up.
so it's broken off enamel.
Yeah.
Being hammered in the river, so the tooth may actually be going this way.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Which is what I'm looking at, because after the tooth is where you get.
I didn't even look at it that way. Yeah.
So I'm just looking at it like an arrowhead. I look where the base is and look where the tooth is. So here's where your base is. See, you're matching this.
Okay.
Your cortex is up here, and so your tooth is going. It's weird though. I can't find the right place to put it.
I sat and played with it forever, and I couldn't. I traced it out and held it next to pictures I printed off. Of,
Yeah, the actual ones will tell you a lot.
Are these megalodon?
These are all megalodon, and there's a bunch of them up there. This will be a good one to take to that show with you and show a couple of people.
Okay.
See what kind of shark tooth they think it is. But I think this surface popped off. Water got under it.
And so it was actually probably going that way.
Yeah,
huh?
this is what I think we're looking at. But
I found that.
it could be going the other way too. I see what you're saying, and this part froze and busted and popped off. It's a tweener. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's definitely shark tooth.
I found this
Yeah.
in the same spot months before where I found
that.
this.
Yeah.
Almost the exact same
It
spot.
does not surprise me. They tell me that it's stuff's not here, but I have an Oklahoma megalodon.
That's
tooth.
what, when I put it online, I said, I was like, I don't know that we have this kind of
Yeah.
shark
they're
evidence here, but
People swear them down, they're not. but
do you
they're
think
here.
it's megalodon or something? Because there's just not much of it there, is there?
Simply because I've seen megalodon here, I don't see a lot of other shark specimens here. Smaller ones, bigger ones, and medium ones,
Okay.
megalodon teeth come from here. It could be some other type of shark, but it's so much damage we can't tell.
Yeah.
But I personally will call it megalodon tooth myself, just because of the fact that I know they're here, and I'm going off facts that we have. that
I'm just
exist.
happy to find out that
Yeah, it's cool.
it's shark.
It's
That's
cool. It's really cool.
That's what I was. I think that's pretty interesting for our.